Hello everyone, this is Rachel live from Kalkine Studios in Sydney, and you're watching The Early Trades, a show where we share with you a glimpse of the Australian share market at the open, along with the global and domestic drivers triggering market momentum. Now, Australian blue chips gained ground when markets opened this morning, pushing the S&P ASX 200 index 0.3% higher. Building materials company CSR led the market with a 3.7% jump. That's after announcing after-tax profits jumped 30% in the 6 months to the end of September. Shares in cement company Adbri were also among the top performers in early trade, jumping 3%. And that was after the company announced a $58 million purchase of Zanows Concrete Quarries. Fast food chain Domino's pizza shares fell 17.4%. That's the worst among the blue chips after the company reported yesterday it could face higher costs. The Reserve Bank of Australia abandoned its bond yield target last week before informing the market, fueling a surge in yields, and issued a policy statement on Tuesday that did the bare minimum to clarify its rate intentions. The result was a decline in equities. The S&P ASX 200 began the repair work yesterday, rising 0.93%. Today's annual general meetings include Myer, Zipco, NIB Holdings, the Domain Group, Credit Corp, Ingham's, and Downer EDI. And looking at today's IPO listing, we have Vulcan Steel scheduled to list at 12 p.m. Eastern Australian time. The company is a metals distributor with 29 warehouses and manufacturing with distribution facilities across Australia and New Zealand. Moving on now to some more newsmakers. Insurer Suncorp has pegged the cost of claims from the bout of wind and hail across South Australia, Victoria and Tasmania last week at $225 million to $250 million. The company received more than 12,000 home and motor claims so far and expects more customers to still come forward. The real estate, media and technology services business, the Domain Group, grew profits by a fifth in the 3 months to the end of September, but has warned its ongoing costs will increase, in part due to the acquisitions of Insight Data Solutions. The increase in revenues reflects the resumption of print publishing activities and includes an 18% increase in digital revenue and comes as the busy spring house sales season begins. Let's take a very short break here now, but stay tuned to Kalkine TV. I'll be back soon.
Hi there, James Preston for Kalkine TV. Are you into gaming and virtual reality? Does AI and the endless possibilities it entails capture your interest? Or are you constantly trawling through the web to try and discover the latest updates and innovations in the tech space? Well, let us do the work for you. From the latest product launches to shocking affairs on the World Wide Web, exclusive interviews and information about the top companies like Apple and Google to brand new tech startups vying for your attention. Kalkine's Tech Beat has the latest in what matters in the world of technology. Join me every single Thursday on The Tech Beat, exclusive to Kalkine TV.
Welcome back. This is Rachel live from Kalkine Studios and you're watching The Early Trades. Let's look at some more stocks grabbing investors' attention today. Profits after tax for CSR, the building materials group, hit $86.6 million in the 6 months to the end of September, a 30% increase from the same period last year. The after-tax profits more than doubled to $156.6 million after significant items were accounted for, while revenues rose 6% to $1.1 billion for the 6 months, the company reported today. They pointed to a healthy outlook for business given bumper new housing commencements. That's according to recent data, which partly reflected the delayed impact of the government stimulus. Adbri has acquired Zanows Concrete Quarries, a Queensland concrete plant and quarry operator, for $58 million. The business operates 2 concrete plants with approval for an additional concrete plant, a sand and gravel quarry and a hard rock quarry located in the western area of Brisbane. The deal will be financed through existing debt facilities. And CIMIC's engineering arm UGL has won a long-term maintenance contract with Chevron Australia that will deliver an estimated $40 million each year for up to 10 years. Works under the oil and gas maintenance contract for the Pilbara region of Western Australia are expected to start this month and will generate around 300 future positions. International equities manager Magellan Financial's reported funds under management climbed around 1.3% to $114.8 billion as at the 30th of September. The company didn't reveal fund inflows or outflows over the month. At the period end, retail FUM stood at $30.3 billion and institutional at $84.5 billion. Stumbling sales from its Japan business and a warning about higher food costs has spooked investors from Domino's Pizzas, sending their share price down 17.1% in the opening minutes of trade. The decline places the company on pace for its worst day since August 2017 and one of the biggest declines since its initial public offering. The tumble follows the company's annual general meeting on Wednesday, where it disclosed same-store sales growth of 4.3% in the 18 weeks to the 2022 financial year began, but warned of rising costs. The opening of restrictions in Japan has reduced sales and caused uncertainty about whether the region will post sales growth in the financial year. Macquarie analysts pointed to energy price inflation, labour shortages and rising food costs as a short-term headwind facing the company, but also maintained a neutral position on the stock. Well, that's all for now for the early morning trades, but stay tuned to Kalkine TVs. We've got many more shows lined up with updates across the economy, markets and sectors. I'm Rachel, signing off for now.